Howdy, hi, and hello. Welcome to Noah's Nest, where we get comfy and cozy as I teach you how to play TTRPGs, just a simple character creation, or try and dip my hand and toe and dive into the deep end of trying to help you learn about other things. And today is going to be another one of those things. Today, I will be going through what makes a TTRPG system good for beginners. I know it can be easy to understand, but sometimes when people are overflustered or people trying to make it overcomplicated, they might need to take a step back and hear from other people. So that's what I'm going to do. First off, what makes a TTRPG beginner friendly? It's simple, it's easy. You don't have to become completely overwhelmed on creating a new character or a whole entire backstory. Almost anyone can grasp it, can just understand, okay, he rolls these dice, this is my character, easy. It can focus on creativity without focusing or diving deeper into mechanics of a game. And it's very, very flexible, where you don't have to do a lot of stuff to work on world building or need to know every little thing for lore or knowledge. In my opinion, choosing the right system is important because it sets the tone for, one, how the game is going to go, and if someone that is completely new would like playing more. So if you're going to choose a system, I know I'm going to bring this up that it's a good system, but I'll go into that further, like D&D. There are so many things that you can go off of. You can create so many things, so many characters, so many stories, but there's needs to be a tone for beginners that don't know anything about it, can understand it, and would actually want to continue playing these amazing games. And if these games are overcomplicated or poorly designed or didn't think of certain things, it'll discourage players. And it's not just the TTRPGs that are at fault, it's other people around them. Sometimes, when you have to deal with a new character, a new story, a new system, and a new player, everyone might get flustered and irritated and not know what to do. Making them not complicated can ease the pressure on everyone. So I got a couple different points that I can go through. We'll talk about what some of the top systems are and what they can include or what they bring to the table. I'll help on how to introduce new players into the systems, and then maybe help give them more advanced tips or troubleshoot. Okay? Alright. Here's my quote-unquote criteria on to find a good beginner-friendly system. So 1, it needs to be accessible. Straightforward rules, not have to try and buy 15 different books. You can easily go online, find a quick start guide, or find a bunch of people doing online tutorials, or even going on YouTube and finding videos like how to play Call of Cthulhu, how to play D&D, how to play Those Dark Places, blah, blah, blah. Low barrier to play. So don't want to cost an arm and a leg to get these special dice or these 15 different books that you need for just one game, and that pre-made characters, or like you trying to make your own character, is not going to take hours and hours and hours. Having like a simple guideline and not having to get a bunch of things that you have to buy will make it more beginner friendly. Next one is engaging themes. This is also all dependent on how all of you guys want to play. But make sure that the systems are fun and reliable themes that you would want to play and that are very interesting in your own friend group. So like if you all want to play sci-fi, we'll find a system that is sci-fi themed. Or if you all want to be medieval, well, find a system that's more medieval themed. Modern, fantasy, mystery, horror, all these things, find something that it fits with you. And then flexible / adaptable. The rules are going to be completely light. You don't have to focus on the hundreds of different rules that you have to focus on, the pages upon pages of spells, or the misinformation of the different sections. Light rules so you can have the max amount of creativity without trying to bog down with mechanics. And another part of this one is try and find a system that could work for both one-shots and campaigns, because who knows, maybe a one-shot was like, wow, that was really cool, I wish we could continue. It can easily meld into a campaign. Alright, here are some of the top systems. I know some of them are a lot easier than others, but I had to bring in this one. It's Dungeons and Dragons, and specifically 5th edition. A lot of people have brought it into the game when 5th edition was out. It's one of the most well-known, if not the most well-known, RPG has a massive amounts of resources to learn about. Character creations can be very easy because it has a step-by-step creation, and they have a bunch of pre-written modules and starter sets that you can easily dip your toe into. But the bad side about it is overwhelming. All of these different rules and dice and attacks and spells and all these other things will make it overwhelming. If it's possible, I know it's hard to do, let's possibly, for newer players, stick to the starter sets, because they simplify it, but they still keep it in the same realm of simple, kind of. Some of these TTRPGs I have and will do reviews on, or will do a how to play on, but we'll get to that at a later date. Next one is the Fate Accelerated Edition. It's very, very simple. It's a narrative-focused game where instead of building a whole entire character, you build a basic character, and it helps you, and as you play the game, you get aspects or abilities as you play the story instead of just getting a bunch of different stats. It's a easy, quick setup, and you can easily adapt to any different genre, from apocalyptic to mystery to high fantasy to modern to even more. It's creative for players and people that prefer storytelling over like all the crunchy dice stuff. Next one is Monster of the Week. It's based on think of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Supernatural. It is an episodic adventure. So after each session, it would be an end of a adventure. With the character creations, it's already simplified to its max capacity, and it can help players jump right into role-playing. It's for the more modern mysteries or like monster hunting groups that want to try out Monster of the Week. Next is Quest. Its rules is with a D20 only, and it is focused on narrative. It is driven on narrative gameplay. It has its rulebook is amazingly designed, and it has accessible to different languages. It's more for a group that is looking for collaborative and story-rich based experiences. Next is Honey Heist. You might have seen this on Critical Role or many other RPG gameplays. It is a one-page RPGs where you are a bear trying to pull off a heist from honey or money or whatever you want to do. The rules are completely simple and perfect for just one-shots, but you can try and delve into a campaign if you really want to. It can be used for anyone, but it might be focused more on the younger players that want to dip their toe into RPGs. And lastly, for this section, I got Lasers and Feelings. It is also a one-page RPG where it has a simple dual stat for mainly sci-fi adventures. It's kind of meant for quick sessions, and you barely have to put in any preparation. It's for sci-fi fans and people that just want something to play real quick. Now, some of the tips for new players. If you are completely new, don't dive into campaigns. Start off with a one-shot. It's less intimidating, and it gives players just a taste of what a full-on campaign could go, but without the whole entire long commitment. This could include like pre-written games that save a lot of time of just creating characters or like having to create a story for all those GMs. You don't have to do that with this. Set off some expectations. Ask your players what they would want to try or play, and also let them know if they would want to be more role-playing or mechanics. And don't be shy on if you want to try a system but it's too complicated, you can easily switch. Because for these new players, you would want them to keep coming back. You would want to keep trying to bring them back. And as they play more and more, they get more comfortable, and they'll be able to go to different systems that are a bit more hard. It is okay to ask questions, and it is completely fine at making mistakes. Learning is part of the fun. Failing is part of the fun. It is okay to fail, make mistakes, ask questions. That's what being new is supposed to be about. You GMs out there, try and be supportive. Your goal is to try and make all these new players, or some new players, feel welcomed, and they can flow through a story. Focus on the story and fun, even if there are certain rules that don't allow it. Just focus on the fun for new players. You don't have to enforce every single rule to be perfect. Flow on creativity. Encourage creativity. Remind all new people and players that there is no right way to play the game. Play it however you want. Play it to however you think. You can celebrate on your own unique situations or character moments or whatever. You don't have to focus on, you're going down a path, I don't want to go down there, I want to try and find this. No, you can't do that. Well, that's not how they play. They want to try and play it their way. And it might not be the right way, but there is no right way to play. And lastly, for this section, keep the sessions short. You don't have to focus on a whole thing where it's 4, 5, 6 hours long. Make it an hour, maybe max 2 hours. It helps them keep an engaging idea, but it's also not tiring by the end of it. Where a new player might be like, that was really fun, but after it hit like 2 hours, it just got kind of boring. And then at the very end, it got really exciting. Try and find it's a give and take in sessions. And the last one is for like advancing beginner tips. Do not go right out the gate with complexity. Start out very, very simple, very, very easy. And as the game goes on and as they become more confident, then start introducing some other rules that weren't in play. Or try a different system that's a little bit more complicated, but just as simple as the last. Don't try and overwhelm our beautiful new players. There will be common issues throughout all games, throughout all one-shots or campaigns, where some players might not be ready, might have paralysis, if you might say. It's okay. You can encourage the players that there are no wrong answers. There's nothing wrong with whatever you say that could destroy a story. You are completely new. You are not here to hurt anyone. No one is here to hurt you. And there might be another one where people might be shy or very hesitant. Same thing. Don't force them to do certain things, but encourage them. Like if they're quiet or shy or hesitant, well, instead of focusing on everyone at one time, focus on a character here, focus on a character there, and then focus on them. Give everyone an opportunity to shine and put in their own ideas. And with new players, you might want to get a bunch of people, a bunch of new players to try a new system, or a bunch of new players that have never played TTRPGs to try out a game. Try and mix some of the dynamics, like mix some experienced players with some new players, so you can easily have a balanced group, and it's not just you trying to quote unquote babysit, which is not babysitting, don't take me the wrong way. If you have a bunch of new players and no one knows how to play, it might be a bit frustrating. But if you have some old players that have played this system before and some new ones, then you're not the only one that's trying to help every single person out. These more experienced players can also dip their toe in and assist on if they have any questions or don't know what some of the rules are. And all in all, if some people aren't clicking with a system, if it's not fun to them, you can easily suggest trying a different one. Each TTRPG has their own system, they have their own flavor, they have their own idea to each and every single one. This one might not click, but the next one might. It might click immediately. Just don't force yourself to play a certain TTRPG. Dip your toe into a couple different ones that are easy to deal with. And here's my closing thoughts. My ideas, my everything else. If you're looking for a beginner-friendly system, try out one-page RPGs, like Honey Heist or The Witch is Dead. You can try D&D 5e because there's a bunch of different knowledge about it. There's a bunch of different videos and books about it, but try not to focus on all the different rules. You are there to have fun. Or you could try Cthulhu Dark or Fate Accelerated. Each of those are story-driven games where they are simple and they are easy to deal with. Focus on accessibility, simplistic and engaging themes that you and your friends will be able to like. So if you want to be more complicated for these beginner players, well, you probably shouldn't, but think of those three things. What themes do you guys want to play on? Is it simple? And do I have to spend an arm and a leg to really try and get this game? And lastly, support your players, try one-shots or pre-made characters, and welcome them with open arms. We're all new at this. We all started new, and we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. But as time went on, we became veterans and want to bring in more new people to this wonderful world of TTRPGs. Make it easy for them. That's my main point. For bringing in these new players, make it easy. Not that many people understand. Not that many people know this world. And even though we've been doing this for so many years now, it's fun. It really is. So, thank you all for listening to the wonderful world of TTRPGs. Thank you for listening to us, Noah's Nest, Creatures and Cantrips, and everything else that we do. Like, share, comment, rate us 5 stars. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and all these other things. Please share us. It helps us a lot. Rating us 5 stars and commenting will also help us a lot. We don't bite. We don't hurt. We're here to pretty much have fun. Share to your friends, family, uncles, dogs, cats, weird strangers that you found out have the same hobbies as you. Just have fun with it. Go easy. As always. See you, love you, miss you, goodbye.